helper for them. So we also need God to help us.
But the point here is the religion we rely on is theirs, because even when I was growing up, the perception that religion gave us is that God is white, the devil is black. That's, I'm seeing the perception that, and even many, if you are honest, you're gonna know that there is a perception out there: the devil is black, white is God. You know that.
It's what they're just.
But do you know that? But do you know that perception? Have you noticed it?
I noticed, but it's not light.
You've noticed it, right? No, I'm not saying what it is. I'm talking about the perception in our brain. I want
to say something. Egypt, is it not Africa?
It's Africa.
Israel, is it not Africa?
It's Africa.
So what?
No, Israel is not Africa. Israel is Middle East.
Middle East.
Yeah.
But Egypt is Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does not. It does not. It does not. First of all, the history we learn about where it starts. It is not ourselves who did research about it. You know that.
Okay.
So it is still the European telling us. Just like the European tell us that they came to civilize us, but they have done things like slavery, colonialism, apartheid, which are classified crime against humanity. So they want to tell you a whole sort of lies until we confirm it by verifying it ourselves, by doing research. Then you can't trust that. And end of the day, we are feeling low, generally. And if you are feeling low, you are broken. Because you feeling low, it is you. It is your mind. Your mind is you.
Okay.
Your whole life revolves around information about the mind. Now you're feeling broken. And who has brought Christianity to Africa? It's not the Catholic Church at first.
Catholic Church is
it started first with the Catholic Church, and that church has been raping children lately. A lot of I don't know if you follow the news. A lot of things, and they've been raping since slavery, colonialism. You got the point. So it is a hoax. You can't trust what your oppressors brought. People who are broken us mentally, like meaning physically, because you can only do your mental. You do your physical. Do what your mental has. You understand? So people who do that to us, you can't trust them. God is certainly there, but not the one they brought, the one our ancestors were praying. Because if God created us, He gave us values, language, and spiritual beliefs. Why would God send other people to? But let's not go into the religion topic, right? Otherwise, it's complicated. But you still stick to the point that you don't want European languages replaced with our own, due to the fact that even in Europe, all of them protect their own languages. Nobody speaks French apart the French. Nobody speaks Portuguese apart the Portuguese. Nobody speaks English apart English. Do you still support that we keep the languages or we remove them?
You know why I'm supporting it?
Yeah.
Let me answer this question clearly.
Okay.
I support them. Why I'm supporting them? Because the Bible says we should love our neighbor as we love ourselves. They are our neighbor.
But do they love us? Do they love us?
Yeah?
Do they love us?
Them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bible says even...
I'm saying, do they love us?
Yeah, they love us.
How can they love us and make us feel low and kill our languages and stuff?
At times it's we are killing ourselves. Let me say, they love us. They come to colonize us. Some things we don't know. Some things, olden days we don't know how to build a house like this. How to do all those things.
But that is not a reason for them to oppress. If you if you know how to build something, it does not give you the right to enslave people.
Okay.
It does not give you the right. So linking building stuff to enslaving people is not right, because today they're building stuff, but are they putting chain on the neck of people? You can't link building stuff and stuff. And for your information, when the Europeans came in Africa around 1430. They start arriving in Africa around 1430, right?
Okay.
None of the technology and modern things you see here was here.
Yeah.
It is us who build the progress, because slavery, colonialism, and apartheid was so that we better the life for free.
They still use us to build all those things.
Yeah, in fact, that means they use us to finance and build, because we're making money for them, and we were used as labor, as slave labor, to build, and we are still used as slave labor, because we're still in a system where we basically work for them. We buy everything that they consume, they produce. So let me just conclude that. So you wanted to say what? Okay, go on. Go on.
What I want to say about what we are saying, because Bible says that we're always using Bible because God used His word to create everything we see in this earth. Bible said that even before we think in our hearts, God knows what we want to do or what we want to say. So God allowed this. You know why?
Okay, you say God allowed it.
God can still help us. Because if you want to do it in a way, maybe the way you are saying it now, it can cause a war.
No, but the premier is, if there is oppression, what they are doing to us is oppression. If people
There's one thing I don't want to
I want to say something. I'm saying people are oppressing you.
Listen to me.
If people are oppressing you, you have the right to resist, isn't it?
Yeah, we have the right.
So if you resist, you can't say you are the one causing war. You're just doing your right to protect yourself.
But what I'm telling you, this thing is in the whole Africa. If it's like only South Africa, it's very easy. But
that means the whole of Africa must resist. That's why this show is protecting Africa.
If you divide Africa too, they take the whole part, like their languages. You know that. So what we have to do, we need God.
Okay.
On this thing.
Okay. Before we go to God, first, will you agree that now? Do you see that you can't link technological stuff and oppression, and you now understand that everything they have, we built it, because in 1430 there was no electricity, there was no aeroplane, there was no internet, and so on. So it is through the centuries of oppression that we finance and better their lives, and then build the progress, and now we still financing the development. That's why that means everything they had is, logically speaking, is ours because we built them. You understand?
I believe that.
So you can't link it to them because they did not build it by their own effort. And without doing oppression, they will not. Actually, if you enslave people to build a big house like this one, if the police arrest you, that house gonna go to the victim. That means everything that's standing in this country, built under apartheid, it comes to the Africans because they did not lawfully build it. You understand?
Yes.
But that is one point. Now the point here is you spoke about the war that it can cause. We don't want a war. We just want our interests restored.
Okay.
Our languages are dying. It's our duty to protect them from death.
Thank you.
And there is no way we can protect our languages with the hegemonic or the supremacist European languages, which they use to make us feel low and inferior. Because the whole presence of European in Africa is colonialism. It's not unequal. It's not for business. It's not for. So even the so-called foreign investment is just colonialism, because the relationship between them and us is not equal. Is a master and slave one. As seen with all the stuff. We have the names, we don't know our names, and so on and so on and so on. So what we're doing here, we are not wanting a war. We're taking down what is oppressing us peacefully. That means we pass laws in parliament and we take them down. Now, if you're gonna fight us, it's just like now you are standing. If people attack us, you can't beg them. You have to defend yourself. So if they attack us, we defend ourselves. We can't need to fight to beg nobody. If somebody wanna break into your house, you're gonna defend yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, you have
so that's it. So if they want a war, we have no choice but to defend ourselves. So you can't make it look like we want a war. No.
They say charity begins at home.
Yeah.
How do we defend ourselves? Do you have a kid?
Sorry?
Do you have a kid at home?
No, I don't.
Okay. For instance, if you have a family, you have a kid, what you have to do, that your kid, you must teach them your language. Not European people will come and help you. You see, charity begins at home. You, like my father, they teach me how to speak my language. So now I have to speak my language. So, but some people, in Africa, they don't want their children to speak their language.
Because our environment,
we help ourselves to finish our language.
No, because our environment, because the order, the order, how things are structured in our countries, right? It is based on European colonial rule. If we remove European language as main language of communication, right? It means the European influence is gone. The European colonialism is gone. So there is no way we can feel like inferior or ashamed of our own languages. We're gonna automatically teach them because that's all we have. You understand?
Okay.
So in those cases, the language is automatically protected. So teaching your language, your kids' language at home is automatic. It's supposed to be automatic. But now we don't feel like teaching our kids our own languages, right? Because of the order where everything is based on European hegemony, media, school content, language. You understand? So by taking down the language as main language of communication, we protect our language from death. But now you spoke about time. I mean, you say you want to go and stuff. But if you have any response,
I want to say something before I stop. Okay, I want to ask you only one question. Okay, if like what we're saying now, we chase them away, start our own languages as Africa.
Now we remove the languages. We're speaking about remove. Will that chase them away? Do you think if we remove the languages, we're gonna chase them away?
No, if we remove the language.
No, just answer this. If we remove the languages, will that chase them away?
No.
If it chase them away,
they like Africa.
If they like Africa only, because they are oppressing us. If we bring the domination to an end, they can't like Africa.
Yeah.
These people are only liking Africa because it's a free drive for them, a free transportation.
Yeah, let me ask the question.
Yeah.
If they take their own language out,
yeah.
So after from now to more 50 years,
yeah.
So how can Africa be communicating? Because now Nigeria will be speaking their own language. South Africa their own language.
How do Europe communicate? Because in Europe, everybody speaks their own language. The French speak French, the Portuguese speak Portuguese, the Spanish speak Spanish, the English, the Portuguese speak the Russian speak Russian, and the Ukrainian speak the Belarus speak Belarus, and so on and so on. So it means we're gonna have the same situation where we communicate like they communicate. Like in Asian, a lot of countries speak their own languages, you understand?
Yeah.
So the problem of how we're going to communicate is already resolved, because right now they are communicating like that. They even have the European Parliament where each country speaks its own language in that parliament. You got the point?
Yeah.
So that is resolved. The point here is to protect ourselves from another kind or another race, ownership and dominance, so that we end poverty, because there's a lot of chaos and poverty, even young girl sleeping with older guy just to survive. That's very sad.
But don't
you can't keep that alive.
There's one thing I said.
Yeah.
That charity begins at home. We must first of all teach from our children. You know, from
we
home.
have to do that.
Yeah.
But at the government level,
you can't be fighting outside while your family don't know what
I agree that we have to teach our languages from home.
Yeah.
That's very important, and
because many children today they can't speak the language. They speak only English. How are you?
Yeah.
You see.
You notice that, right?
Yeah.
That is evidence that English is killing African languages, and that has to prompt a tough response, a very extreme response to stop that, because killing our language is a crime that can even go to war. Because if you're killing my language, I can mobilize forces to remove that language by force. You understand? Because I don't want my language to die. So we need to take tough measures to protect our language before a conflict breaks out. So if we remove those languages, we prevent a conflict. If those languages comes, there will be a conflict. I promise you there will be a conflict. But we don't want a conflict, so we have to peacefully remove those languages to avoid conflict, to protect our language, because they enslave our brain. But anyway, we have to teach our languages at home. It's very important. So Africans, we have to teach our language. But at government level, the colonial influence must be brought down by removing those languages. Those languages bring us nothing of value, because we are nowhere.
Yes.
We are only just losing everything that is ours. You understand? So you support that we remove those languages, right?
Yeah, I support it, but God must help us.
Okay, very interesting.
We need
And
God to help us.
any closing argument for our